आप देख रहे हैं हमारी खास पेशकश। लगातार हम बातचीत कर रहे हैं इन्फोसिस के ऊपर। आज एक बड़ा इवेंट हुआ उसके ऊपर, लेकिन कुछ देर में एनालिस्ट कॉल शुरू होने वाले, यानी 11:30 बजे के आसपास इन्फोसिस की एनालिस्ट कॉल शुरू होगी। लेकिन उससे पहले कोई मार्केट्स में नजर डाल लेते हैं कि बाजार अभी भी प्रेशर में है। निफ्टी 9842 के लेवल पर है। 61 अंकों की गिरावट देखने को मिल रही है निफ्टी के अंदर। 55 अंकों के आसपास गिरावट है। यहाँ पर कुछ बाइंग जो आई है वो ऑयल एंड गैस स्पेस में, जिसमें बीपीसीएल कुछ बाइंग दिखा रहा है। गेल में खरीदारी देखने को मिल रही है। आईओसी भी काफी हद तक सपोर्ट प्रोवाइड कराते हुए बीपीसीएल डे हाई के आसपास आ चुका है और आईओसी भी रफली 1.5% के आसपास की बढ़त दिखा रहा है। सेलेक्टिव बाइंग जो अभी भी कुछ स्टॉक्स में हुई है उसमें एनबीसीसी है, एक खरीदारी यहाँ पे आते हुए दिखाई पड़ी है। इसके अलावा बॉम्बे रेयन एक और नाम है जहां पर कुछ एक अपटिक्स आए हैं। एनबीसीसी करीब डे हाई पर आ चुका है। बॉम्बे रेयन भी 3% के आसपास की बढ़त दिखा रहा है। वेल्सपन कॉप ये एक और स्टॉक है जहां पर कुछ एक अप आता और अपटिक्स आते हुए दिखाई पड़े हैं। छोटे शेयरों में जैसे कि लैंडको इंफ्रा जीवी के ऐसे शेयर जो हैं उनके अंदर भी कुछ एक खरीदारी आई है, हालांकि इतना ज्यादा मूव नहीं है। और यूपीएल एक और ऐसा शेयर है जिसमें कुछ खरीदारी ऊपरी स्तरों की तरफ आते हुए दिखाई पड़ी है। लेकिन विकास सिक्का के बतौर सीईओ ज़ी बिजनेस से खास बातचीत की थी। उनका जो आखिरी इंटरव्यू है बतौर सीईओ वो आपको सुनवाया था।
Become so good for you that this revised guidance on the dollar revenue front, on the upward side, and maintaining your guidance. What has worked for you?
I think, first of all, I'm really happy about the broad-based performance, broad-based results that we achieved. It was due to the fact that, as I mentioned in the previous quarter, that we would put in a strong focus on execution, and we have done that, and our team has done that across the board, from the revenue side to the finance to the cost side, and we have seen revenue growth, margin improvement, as well as especially revenue per employee improvement, which is something that I am particularly proud of. But beyond that, also the new areas have started to kick in, and new services now, the services that we have launched over the last 2 years, they contributed 8.3% of our revenue this quarter. And new software that did not exist within Infosys more than 2 years ago, is 1.6% of our revenue. So altogether, this is about 10% of our revenue coming from things that we did not have. And that means that since April of 2015, the more than 2 billion that we have added in our revenue, 1 billion out of that, so half of that has come from these new services that did not exist. So altogether, these have contributed to a very satisfying quarter.
I'll again ask you a little more in detail about the new services, but for now I want to ask you, the starting of FY18 is on a good note, so can we expect a better FY18 than FY17, and especially looking at the new services, them contributing in a meaningful way in the whole year?
You can expect our team to stay focused on strong execution. You can expect that if we see things, if things improve in Q2, we'll take stock of where we are, and if there is a reason to make any changes to the guidance. And yes, on the new services growth, we do expect great growth from these new services. So because they are all very deeply aligned to our clients' interests, and so this is something that we are focused heavily on.
Absolutely. And also about your Vision 2020, does this still look like too far-sighted right now, and is there a recalculation of sorts on the back of your mind right now?
I think it is important to remember the context in which we did this. So it has always been an aspiration for us. Back when I started, it was almost exactly 3 years ago. There was a lot of anxiety, there was a lot of apprehension in the company. There was a huge attrition, more than 23.5% when I started. And the growth was a fraction of the growth of our peers and so forth. So in that atmosphere, when we took stock of the situation, we looked at where we could go, what the possibilities were. We established this aspiration. It has always been an aspiration, and many companies do that. And so, in terms of an actual achievement of that, I mean, 2020 is now less than 3 years or so, 3.5 years away. So it's almost impossible that we'll get there. But it is the fact that the compensation linkage to this was one of the matters that got discussed in the board, and I think that the board will at an appropriate time revise that based on what they see as the future and so on. But I think the important thing is that it is an aspiration. It has always been one, and in hundreds of meetings that I have done, it has never been a doubt about that.
Right. You have been focused on automation and digital sphere. I want to understand from you now, what is something which is on the back of everybody's minds is what does it do to jobs? That is one pertinent question. How do you address that?
Yeah, on the one hand, if you look at the advances in AI and advances in automation technologies, there is no doubt that they're already having a very profound impact on jobs. But also at the same time, we have to realize that these are jobs of the past looking backwards. These are commoditizing jobs. And in those areas, it behooves us to embrace automation, to improve our productivity, to build automation technology and so on. But at the same time, new technology always creates new opportunities, new jobs that did not exist before. And we can build those. So, I came here to this venue on our own indigenously built autonomous golf cart. And this is an example. For every driver that an autonomous cart can potentially replace, and although I think a full-scale autonomous technology is still quite a bit into our future, there is an autonomous technology that has to be built by, and that is being built by people. So we can learn to do these things. So the key is education. At Infosys, we have always had a founding value of learnability. Mr. Murthy used to talk about this. And that is at the heart of this, that can we learn these new skills, these new capabilities, and can we learn to be relevant in the times ahead on the basis of this ability to learn, and that is what it comes down to.
Right. Absolutely. Some stellar performance coming on this front, definitely, and you are taking guidance from the founders front. But there is still on the back of the mind of analysts a question that is there, if all well, between the promoters or the founders and the board right now, because they're still not attending the AGM. So if you could give some clarity on that front.
I think that you have to ask board this question, and our job is to ensure that we are focused on execution and delivering strong performance for the company, but also to not abandon the values of the company, to continue to do so in a purposeful way. Times have changed, times are changing, they are changing significantly from the past, but we can continue to be relevant and growing in those times while adhering to our timeless values, and I think that is our endeavor.
Right. You have taken a step of actually sending Ranga to US now. He will be relocated there. So what is the broad reason? Why are you sending him there? And, is there any back of the mind strategy to counter all the protectionist policies of Donald Trump over there to send him to lead that front?
No, it is very simple. When I started, Ranga was heading my office and running all the strategic operations for us. And he and I used to work very, very closely together. He was based in the U.S. for 5-6 quarters. And then when he became the CFO, he came back here. And now, he has established the processes. He has established a great team, Jayesh and the others in the finance leadership. And we are building this tremendous infrastructure in the U.S.
तो आप सुना था विशाल सिक्का को नतीजों के बाद इन्फोसिस के हमने बातचीत की थी उनसे, और पहले ये रिकॉर्डिंग हुई थी, लेकिन जो बातें उन्होंने साफ की कि सिनेरियो थोड़ा सा प्रेशर भरा जरूर है और लगातार चैलेंजेस रहेंगे। विजन 2020 को लेकर उन्होंने बात साफ की कि कंपनी की जो विजिबिलिटी है बिल्कुल क्लियर है और आगे भी जारी रहेगा, लेकिन हाँ ये जरूर है कि आज इस फैसले के बाद अब इन्फोसिस में विजन 2020 का आगे का दिशा और दशा कैसे रहने वाली है ये क्रूशियल रहेगा। कुछ देर बाद एनालिस्ट कॉल शुरू होगी, उसमें हम ये सवाल भी जरूर सुनते दिखाई पड़ेगा। इसी नोट के साथ ही अब कॉर्पोरेट डाक तो यहीं समेटते हैं, लौटेंगे बातचीत करेंगे कमोडिटीज मार्केट को लेकर भी। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।